Excellent. So now we're on to the Instagram display photo. So the photo that you use as the face of your account, we want to make sure that that's perfect because it really is the thing that's most seen on Instagram, and it is the only visual representation of your account that you get to use all across the Instagram platform. So it represents your account as a whole, and it's critical in order to grow really fast and help people understand what your business is about, to grow your affinity with the actual customers and have a highly converting Instagram page. So make sure you check the attachment for this lesson where you can download the template and get the exact dimensions that you need for your Instagram profile photo. What you need to know in order to optimize it, and I'm going to show you exactly a live walkthrough at the end of this module of us walking through and building an Instagram photo together. What you need to know though is it can either be displayed as a circle or a square depending on where it's displayed across the Instagram website. So you want to make sure it's symmetrical and it fits to both a circle and a square. There are 3 keys to remember once you've got that symmetry down. Is you need to have it be a symbolic representation of whatever it is you're trying to present. So whether your account is a personal account, a brand account, a hybrid account, or a themed account, you can't have a busy logo or a busy photo there. You want to make sure that it is very symbolic and it's very simple because this photo is going to be seen at really, really small dimensions. So you want to make sure it pops at every single size. And we're going to be walking you through some examples of this. You want to make sure there's no noise. So making sure that there's not a lot of stuff in the background or the foreground, not more than one point of interest for people to look at in your Instagram profile photo. And of course, you want to make sure it's a high quality image because when it does get squashed, the high quality image shows up a lot better because they are able to choose the right pixels in order to squash down and make sure it's a really clear image for you to see. And of course, you want to make sure that you don't come across as a cheap business when you have a pixely profile photo when people go onto your Instagram page. So let's go through some examples of this. So you want to make sure that it's a symbolic representation of either yourself or your business or your brand or your logo. So you can see here if this is a personal page and you're a girl and that you have a following about your lifestyle, the photo on the left here is you're square onto the camera, you're close up to the camera, it's quite symmetrical and it shows round and it shows square. It shows well round, shows well square. It's a very appealing photo to look at. And it's very high quality. So you want to make sure that your photo is something like that, as opposed to the one on the right, where there's a lot of stuff going on. There's more than one person in it. There's hats and sunglasses, and it's not of the face or the upper torso and the face, which I highly recommend if you're using a personal account or yourself as the image. Make sure you're very close up, so you've got just face or just the shoulders and the face. Otherwise, it's way too confusing. If you are a bodybuilder, you can put some of your upper body in there as well, but I wouldn't zoom out. I wouldn't have you in full length or full profile, but just your absolute face and really close to the camera and high quality. Even for businesses, you can see someone like Starbucks, instead of using their actual logo, which is on the right, that's their full logo, they've simplified it. They've zoomed in, they've got rid of all the writing, they've got rid of all the symbols, and instead they've just used the logo in the middle of the Starbucks logo as their full Instagram picture. And you'll see a lot of people like this, like Nike just have the tick, they don't have the writing there. McDonald's just have the M. Walmart, they don't have Walmart, they just have the yellow flower thing. A lot of these businesses and brands simplify their logos even further. So make sure if you have a logo that's not complex, you can use that. Otherwise, if it is quite complex, just use the first letter of it, or just use something very simple and very appealing that stands out well and is a symbolic representation of your brand. So, number 2. You want to make sure there's no noise surrounding the subject of the image, which is either you or a product or your brand or a cat or whatever the theme of your account is. No complex color palettes. Stick to 1 or 2 colors maximum. That goes the same in logos. If you can see Starbucks if we go back here. That's not Starbucks. This here is Starbucks. You can see they have blacks and they have whites and they have greens. That's actually really simple. It's only 3 colors, but they've put it down to just 2 colors, green and white. And you can see a lot of brands doing that. Some people actually inverse their colors, which we'll be talking about in the upcoming lectures. But basically, stick to 1 to 2 colors, even in your photos as well. So this girl, you can see it's a clear photo of her. It's a little bit more than just the face, but it's a athletic looking brand, and it's a clothing brand, so you can do that, although I do think she'd be better off being a lot closer to the actual camera. And you can see the background is just white, it's bricks. Where the other one, you can see this girl's really far away, it's her full body. She's small, you can't see her face, you don't grow a personal affinity to her because you can't see her, you don't understand anything about her. There's lots of refractions of light and mirrors and different angles, which is just more confusing. If this was posted on Instagram, it'd be a great post, but not to be used as your profile image. Again, you can see here a couple of makeup companies. Glambe, a lot of makeup. They've tried to squeeze all their products in there. They've tried to squeeze their username in there. They've even got an underscore. Like, it's not what you want in a profile photo, where MAC have simply just used their logo in a 2-color form, stretched across the entire circle or across the full width of the image. And number 3, you want a high quality image. It needs to be sharp, it needs to be non-blurry, and it needs to be close up high quality. It can't be high quality far away and you zoom in, it's an all blurry photo. You want to make sure it's very high quality and sharp. Now, we're going to do a little test in a second, but before you do, you can actually use a hack called a brand to theme temporary image, which is where if you're a entrepreneurship account, you may use a really cool looking car, a Lamborghini, as your photo for the first month as you grow your account, because you're posing as a themed account, even though you're a business account, because people are more likely to follow you if you're a really cool car or this man in a suit and tie than they are if you are just the logo of your business. And it also, you can use photos to entice curiosity and give insight into your account and make people actually want to click your profile and go and learn more about who you are, which, as we've discussed, they can then go and follow you and see your updates, or they can go back to your website and buy your products. So what I wanted to show you and ask you is, which photo should McDonald's be using as their profile photo? On the left, you've got Ronald McDonald, which is obviously their mascot, would be totally fine to use as their profile photo, and that's obviously a question. I'm not telling you that. This is a question for you to understand. Do you want a 2-colored logo that's really close up? Do you want their products? Do you want their products that are really close up and high quality as the photo? Do you want the arch to give it a little bit more lifelike instead of just having the basic logo with the writing underneath? Or do you want a buckets of chips all in one, which is again their product, and may entice a little bit of curiosity? So you definitely want this one. You want this McDonald's symbolic representation that's clean, it's high quality, it's really good. The only way that I would use any of the other ones, it would be probably the chip one or the product one if you wanted to split test and see if you could create some curiosity with those, but they seem way too complex. And what you want to do is you want to have the big McDonald's logo, the 2 colors, really simple, straightforward. Make sure yours is symbolic, make sure it's 2 colors, make sure there's no noise, make sure it represents you as a brand.